more time. What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Thank you, first of all, for joining us. Wait, I can hear myself in my earphones. Thank you for joining us, first of all. You know, I mean, how are you guys this marvelous evening? But anyway, like I said in the day, I told you guys before that I have a few things that I am working on that I'm still waiting to come to fruition. But like I said, I'm wanting to do a show, a steady show with this man for a while. You know what I mean? Big fan of his work. A Jersey native like such as myself, so that's always dope. You know what I mean? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So
I don't know what. Hello? I don't know what the hell happened here. I don't know what the hell happened to Zobe. Bugging. Hold on. Let me go to the actual video. I don't know what the hell's going on right now. Hold on. Let me try. Can you guys hear me still? I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yo, can you guys hear me? Zaire?
Yeah. I can't.
I don't know what happened.
All right, Zobe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what the hell happened.
Sony's hacking us.
Yeah, somebody getting us, man. North Korea, South. Somebody sent the ninja students down. So anyway, what's up, Jason Hernandez, Taylor Blaze, everybody? Shout out all you guys in the chat section there. If you be so quiet, hit the like button, tweet it out. So we're gonna have an epic show today. So anyway, this man just needed an introduction. We all know who Zobe is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, very entertaining cat. So like I said, I was asking some of you guys, you know, for some names. You know what I mean? A gentleman came up with gamer versus gaming podcast, which is cool. You said Blood Dragon, ZOBE70, the master of clickbait titles. Go along with long, drawn out, lazy videos. Oh man. But like I said, thank you guys for rocking out with us today. So first, like I said, Zobe, I haven't actually last time I spoke to you, besides yesterday or whatever, was doing the PS4 Pro's reveal.
Yes.
Back, what was it, about a month ago? I'm gonna say about a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the last time I spoke to you then. But my question is to you: have you softened your stance about maybe, you know, like getting the console, or are you fine what you have? Because I got sent some footage of the PS4 Pro running. Was it Final Fantasy FX? With the new ones coming out, where they got they dress like white boys with leather jackets. What Final Fantasy is that?
Final Fantasy 15. Yeah.
I'm not a big Final Fantasy dude, but it looks, you know, and I know you scream gameplay over graphics any day of the week, and that's your stick there. But the game looks amazing. You know what I mean?
Well, I seen that it looks amazing on the Xbox. Xbox version will be running the game on HDR. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I know the PlayStation won't be doing that.
Yeah. See, theirs is supposed to be coming out, but there is supposed to be an update at February or so or something. When it was talking about it. Yes, you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Actually, let me actually go to the actual the article. They was talking about it in my gaming group, Bang Bang Next Gen Gamers, and I guess I get an article about HDR on the PlayStation 4, and they were saying for you to get HDR on the PlayStation 4, you would have to go into the settings, put it in the RGB mode, and they were saying only for the Slim and the PS4 Pro. I don't know, you know, but this is what it said here on the article. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was only for the Slim and for the, like I said, the PlayStation 4 Pro. What I'm saying, I got sent a clip of, regardless of the HDR. Don't get me wrong, HDR is huge. You know what I mean? It's like going from 1080p to 4K for the
Yeah.
first time. It's like, I'm not downplaying that.
Yeah.
But the game did look nice graphically, of course, like I said, running on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But like I said, first of all, are you getting Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah, I'm getting it, but I'm not as excited as I should be for Final Fantasy 15. I kind of think this is going to. I mean, besides 13, which I thought was one of the weakest I've ever played in my life, but I think this one will be in that same area of 13. It doesn't, to me, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, to me, even if they make it shinier, if it looks prettier, the characters look more, cooler. I'm guessing, that still doesn't make Final Fantasy. This from what you just explained by saying it was a bunch of characters running around with white boy vest and stickers and buttons and zippers and all that other goofy shit. That's not Final Fantasy to me. That is catering to the modern day generation of fuckboys. You know what I mean? And I'm not that guy. I'm not saying Final Fantasy 7 is any better, but when you looked at the core gameplay of Final Fantasy 7, and not only that, the story, that was a Final Fantasy game. This, I don't know what the fuck this is. But into another thing, even though it will look better, from what I've been hearing from Tokyo Game Show, from what I've been hearing from Final Fantasy, the creators, and what I'm hearing right now at Comic-Con, New York City, I'm hearing the graphics is not the problem. What the problem is that the frame rate is dropping down to 10.
Wow. Well, this is the game winner on the PS4 Pro.
They're playing on the PlayStation right now, and they said the frame rate is dropping down. So when there's a bunch of characters on screen and you're releasing magical attacks like fire and death, they said the frame rate drop is so poor. It's like playing, Ridge Racer on the PlayStation 1. You know what I mean?
Ridge Racer.
But I did hear that it will be better on the Xbox. That's what I did hear.
Well, now here's the thing. Now I don't know if they're using DX12, and I'm not getting into the whole DX12 and the magical sauce and all that weird shit there.
Yeah.
But the actual Final Fantasy, the game, I guess when they showed that, I guess I know. When they showed it at E3 for the Xbox One, they also said that was one of the complaints about, the game running, having frame rate issues on the standard, Xbox One or Xbox One S or whatever the case may be. I don't know what engine they're using. Maybe, something that's taxing. But if it's still, and here's the issue, if it shouldn't have any performance issues on the more powerful, quote unquote, PS4 Pro, Now, if this game still has issues running on the PS4 Pro, in Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
But are you going to, like you said, you're getting it. So what about the PS4 Pro? You're not for it? You don't need it?
No, it's no, not unless if they say, let's see, Xenogears 2 is exclusively you can only play it on the PlayStation. If like what I'm trying to say is only if they say that certain games are playable on the PlayStation 4 Pro compared to I can't play it on my other PlayStation, then they'll just give me something else to rage about. But like if they said it's something that I'm anticipating and they say exclusively for the PlayStation 4 Pro, that'll be it. But just to say that it looks shinier on my 4K or 1080p television, nah, because the games that I play, and maybe it could be a bad or a good game. The games that I play aren't really graphically demanding. Gravity Rush 2 looks pretty good. Did you see Gravity Rush 2?
Yeah. Gravity Rush 2, yeah.
That looks good. There's some other Japanese games. Nier 2 looks pretty good. There are some games that look really good, but I don't really think it's really that graphically demanding and to you know what I mean? That's not really that wasn't really my complaint in the first place, was having better graphics. It might be for guys who were Johnny come latelys to the PlayStation community. We won't name names, but guys that were probably Xbox fanboys. They probably were swagger jacking you and then say, you know what? Let me do it on the PlayStation side. Let me act like Zaire, but on PlayStation, and try to build a community.
Wait, have you noticed that too? Have you noticed that?
like, let me do what Zaire did, but let me do it on the PlayStation. Like, a lot of these guys are just trying to hustle. And for me, you can tell with me, it's just with gaming, and that's why the community doesn't like me, because I call them out on all their bullshit that they think I don't see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We won't name names.
Yeah. You keep it down the middle, but I'm my man, you sharp there. You getting them past over. You see what they did?
No.
Style, swagger.
There's two people on YouTube that are the most swagger jacked. Me and you. Oh, we are the most stolen from motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, man. I feel like my man, when Jimmy Lee Lewis stole the Great Balls of Fire. What's my man name back in the day? Black guy, but Little Richard. You know what I mean? Yeah. They hit with the Little Richard.
You're the Little Richard of
yeah.
Let me tell you why. To get back on it, because we never seen. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I hope you don't take it disrespectful.
Oh, not school chat.
We never seen the gangster with gaming before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We never seen the gangster, the thug with gaming. So now all of a sudden these dweebs, and I call them nigger nerds, are coming out of the woodworks of trying to act. You can smell the fake on them. You know what I mean? Like, you can smell the authentic compared to a ripoff. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess it is what it is. He say invitation is a form of flattery,
yes,
which is cool. Hey man, it is what it is. But yeah, thinking out. I mean, not even like I said, put myself in the box. But it's like a gift and a curse to me. I just want to say this. And for those that it's crazy. I get the comments all the time. You fake gangster, kitchen gangster, this, that. No. That's nothing. That's even nothing that I praise or that I brag about. I'm not doing the series talking about how many years I've spent. Like I just came here to talk about games. Don't get me wrong. You see the character of Next Gen 720, but you get some of me, Al Bishman, as I am within my characters. It's all for quote unquote entertainment. But I'm not.
I'm sorry. I don't make it seem.
No. I understand what you're saying.
You're not the type of person that tries to prove he's gangster, though. Yeah, that's why.
It's not.
I go, this dude is a real dude, because he's a dude that's not really trying to show his gangster. He just is. There's a lot of guys that are trying to show their gangster, and a lot of these nigger nerds and wiggers will fall for that bullshit. But you're not faking the funk. You are, and that's why I respect you the most out of everybody in this goddamn piece of shit ass community.
I appreciate it, man. Those are kind words for my man ZOBE70. Everybody get my man here a round of applause, man. You done stroked your boy Next Gen 720 ego. My shit on cloud 5,000 right now. You know what I mean? But as I was saying,
go ahead. My bad.
No, that's cool. We were talking a little bit behind the scenes. We were talking about Recore, and I said, I'm just like Recore. I mean, that's your type of game. The whole, because I guess that genre type game is kind of new to the Xbox side of things. So when you think about Xbox, you think about races and shooters and maybe sports, but you don't look at you don't see games like that.
It's kind of a throwback to the OG Xbox a little bit with the Jay Cocoons and the some other things like that. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, you take a game like Recore. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go at it from this point of view right here. I don't know if you saw the interview that Phil Spencer gave with GameSpot.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying that there is a media bias out there.
Thank you. Yes.
When it comes to Xbox One games, the way that they're reviewed compared to maybe Sony games. I don't even. Well, he did say that because he said No Man's Sky. You take a game like No Man's Sky, and I'm not going to say any sites names.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody using my Twitter handle anymore, tweets or that weird shit there. But they give No Man's Skies a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But then turn around and give a game like Quantum Break a 4 out of 10 and Recore a 4 out of 10. Like, what's your opinion on that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, I was just thinking about this when I was at the gym, and that's where I do my most meditating right there and thinking. And I was just thinking how. Is Gears of War out right now or no?
Well, if you bought the collector's edition, all that, it comes out to the masses Tuesday.
Well, but people are playing it right now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, There is a media bias when it comes to Xbox because I didn't even know Gears of War was out or even coming out Tuesday. My knee grumps.
Yeah.
I mean, only way did I know if I didn't follow the Xbox guys on Twitter, I would have never known. I mean, let me explain. I knew everything about No Man's Sky. Excuse me, I knew everything but knew nothing about No Man's Sky. I knew, I mean, like when I say I knew nothing about No Man's Sky is because I would sit there and ask motherfuckers, what the fuck is this game? What is No Man's Sky? And a bunch of nigger nerds and wiggers will come out and say, well, it's this and it's that and it's this and that, this, that, and the third. And the reason I'm saying I know everything is because IGN, GameStop, and all the game trailers and all these other mediocre websites are putting out No Man's Sky fuckboy facts about the goddamn game, but nobody's telling me about the game. Meanwhile, I don't know anything about ReCore. I don't know anything about Gears of War. And that's bad. How do I know more about the shitty ass fucking game called No Man's Sky, but I don't know anything about these titans like Gears of War? How is it if Uncharted had a collector's edition where people were already playing the motherfucker right now, it would have been plastered all over my goddamn subscription feed, Zaire?
Yeah.
But I don't have anything on Gears of War. And not only that, Gears of War are getting great reviews. I had to go do my own research to look up Gears of War, great reviews, and still nothing from IGN, nothing from GameStop, nothing from other websites. I had to come to you guys, and you guys can't be the majority because, not to be disrespectful, you guys are small compared to the people who don't know, because I don't know, and I need to know. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up that I know more about No Man's Sky, but I don't know anything about Gears of War. One of the greatest third-person shooters, cover-based shooters ever.
Yeah, I would dare to probably say that they invented that genre of third-base cover shooting.
Yeah, I'd be telling the Xbox fanboys that I'm not Xbox, PlayStation fanboys that I know it was. There was other games before it. Nigga, I'm not talking about what came before the chicken or the egg. I'm talking about who mastered the shit. Who mastered.
Yeah, they put it on the map there with the cover base.
Yeah. Uncharted has the shittiest fucking third person cover based shooting, 10 out of 10. Gears of War, a master 9. It's like, what?
Yeah, hey, you know what? Hey, so they might poison your ass, man, before it's all said and done.
I've probably already been poisoned, but you know what I'm saying? I have a strict vegan life. When I go outside, I wrap a cloth around my mouth to cover myself from the chemtrails. So, like I said, I'm a healthy guy, so I'm knocking off those fucking poisons. But anyway, go ahead. But there is a media bias, Zaire. That is 100% right. You, Phil Spencer, all of you motherfuckers are right, and it's an embarrassment that I know more about No Man's Sky and not Gears of War. That is, I don't know anything about ReCore. I have to go and Google, you know what I'm saying, and search up. And meanwhile, it's plastered all over my subscription of No Man's Sky, Uncharted bullshit, Horizon Zero Fucks, The Last Guardian that keeps getting delayed. I know all about the PlayStation shit, but I know nothing about Gears of War. I mean, nothing about Xbox shit. If there is a media bias, objectively. But
listen, but you look at. How should I say? Well, first of all, I was surprised that Phil said anything. Because Phil's very down the middle when it comes to stuff like that. Like I've been, it's crazy. I get, people call me an Xbox fanboy corpusely, but I don't have a problem being critical of Microsoft. You know what I mean? I don't. I've criticized them many times over. Like that damn near lost a fucking tooth, a molar or something, or incisor. And Fable Legends, not just so much Fable Legends. When Lionhead Studio got fucking let go, whatever the case may be, I'm a huge Fable fan. Don't really care about Halo. You know what I mean? I think I told you before. I buy it every time it comes out because this is my duty as an Xbox fan. I don't want to get hit with the F2 Brute. But anyway, with that being said, I was surprised at Phil. It wasn't disrespectful when he said it. He did it in a Phil Spencer way, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the media, there was a big backlash from Phil Stevens suggesting that there is a media bias, and we're gonna forget what happened with Gamersgate and all that shit there, where those emails got made public, and how they were, getting together saying they're gonna vote this game down, and this is something that really would happen. No one's gonna be talking about Gamergate again. Like, this is something that really, really happened. Like I've always said before, if you're a part of the media, to me, first of all, I don't let someone's review determine if I'm going to buy a game or not. I just never looked at them, never cared. But that's just me. But you have some people that go out there, like maybe it's for the console. Well, this only got 82. This got this. You know how that shit goes. But again, I say that to say this, that let me choose my words wisely here.
Yeah.
I don't want to piss off anyone here personally, but anyway, fuck it. I was just, the way that Phil did it, he did, like I said, in the Phil Spencer type of way. But like I said, it was a big media, backlash to saying that, he just salty because this rated this. But you had Yoshida come out and call Polygon when the Polygon game, The Last of Us, a 7 out of 10. Yoshida said he was doing it for clickbait. And whatever reason,
it's a 7 out of 10. What is it? 10 out of 10 game. Ain't no perfect.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But but like I said, there was then you had Polygon get death threats and all that wild shit from Sony fans, and they said Naughty Dog, we're not going to send no more review copies. Like, this shit was wild, right? But like I said, Bill just says that he didn't even say any particular developer. He just say you get a game like Recore, get a 4 out of 10, but you get No Man's Sky gets a 9 out of 10. The developer is being sued for advertising, all that wild stuff, lack of gameplay and glitching and breaking. My thing is, like, really, how could you take one of these sites, give them any credibility when you can give a game like No Man's Sky a 9 out of 10? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That lets you know right there, forget the whole Xbox versus, put that shit aside. Let's let you know right now there that reviews can be bought. They're doing it for clickbait. Like, like I've always said, like, what is the premise of No Man's Sky? Like, I've always, this game doesn't look fun to me.
Yeah. I used to ask people, you'd be like, Zoe, you're gonna buy No Man's Sky? I'm like, what is it? And then now when the game comes out and now when the media says it's fucked up, now everybody's like, yeah, fuck you, No Man's Sky. But I'm like, didn't I tell you guys months ago not to buy that bullshit if you don't know what the fuck it is?
Yeah. But I don't know. If you think, okay, fuck, we switch it.
My bad. I hope I'm not too graphic.
No, it's cool shit. Now, do you think it's a lack of AAA exclusives on the Sony side? And what I mean, I'm not saying because they give me this long list where they give me the Godzillas and the MotoGP 19 and all these little titles that sell 4,000 copies and stuff, which is cool. If you like it, I'm not saying that. But I'm talking about the big blockbusters, like the Uncharted or stuff like that. Do you think it's because it's a lack of those that games like No Man's Sky get praise and above just because they are only on PlayStation at that time?
I think it's just a lack of sales, man. You don't understand how bad these sales are over here at the PlayStation. We haven't been selling well since, oh my God, since the ending of PlayStation 2. The sales for our exclusives are so bad. Even I remember there was an article, the Uncharted creators, Naughty Dog, were like about 90% of the people who own a PlayStation 4 never played Uncharted. That's embarrassing. Look at the Street Fighter sales. Street Fighter is hands down the greatest fighter ever.
Yes.
Selling abysmal, barely 1 million copies. Look at Uncharted 4, homie. That didn't even sell 3 million copies yet. Meanwhile, over at Nintendo, over on Xbox, they're hitting the double digits in their from the Halos to the Marios. They're in the double digits. They're in the 10 millions. And we can't even get in the fucking, past 2 million, 3 million. 3 million is our highest we can go. The reason there's a media bias is because they have to program the masses of these fucking idiots, to go out and buy the games that the people still ain't buying them, man. Imagine if they didn't have that media hype. The sales would be even more poor.
Wow.
And this is a console that has over 40, 50 million units sold compared to the Xbox and Nintendo.
Yeah.
The game sales are embarrassing, really, really bad. I was watching a video and the guy was breaking down how bad the sales were for the PlayStation and their exclusives. And this is supposed to be the greatest. PlayStation Nation is the greatest, right? And you don't even like your own games. You hate your own games. Stop pretending to be Sony. Stop coming over here and fucking up the shit that I grew up in loving. Go back to being an Xbox fanboy. Stop stealing Zaire's style and try to create that style on the PlayStation, because you're ruining what the F I love. They're ruining Zaire. I grew up on games like Mega Man Legends, Xenogears, Final Fantasy, all types of wild, schwinky, kooky, quirky games, and we would just put it rapper to rapper, unjamming, like, just wow. The list goes on and on and on, and none of these guys have never played them before. And I go, well, how are you a PlayStation fan, homie?
Yeah, a lot of probably their first console may have been the PS3 that came along. Which, I'm not going to hold their age.
Their first console was the Xbox 360, and then they
yeah. Well, that, or like I said, maybe the seventh generation, maybe they was just when they got in.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation, but I'm not going to say whoever this YouTuber is, pretty big YouTuber.
Yeah.
And there's one thing about me. I will argue a motherfucking an ant over a fucking pice of bread. Like
as you should.
Especially if I know that I'm right, you know what I mean? And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I said to him, you know what I mean? I said, to me, just being honest, and we're just talking about just the lack of exclusives, on the Sony side when it comes like the house. And Sony saying that, this shit was sparse. But you still got these playing, these gamers, saying, oh, Sony, that's the best lineup ever in history, this, that, and the other, which is cool. You know what I mean? I've always said that, exclusives, honestly, don't hold the punch that it once did. You know what I mean? It's all about the multi-class. Even you take a game like Uncharted, this, maybe Sony's flagship title, you see it in the MPD for that first month. Top 10, if you're lucky, maybe 2. But you look at the MPDs every month, it's the same 10 multiplats, 2K, Madden, Minecraft, Destiny, Call of Duty, over and over and over, Again, so I say that to say this, though. I said, to me, in all honesty, I'm not saying that there were not some gems on the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, but a lot of those exclusive, those brands, the iconic brands that you guys are glamoring about, the Metal Gears, and just that, which were all made by third party. And just in those days when they were just exclusive then, to the PlayStation brand. It wasn't until like the 360 came out and they did come to the Xbox or anything else. It was a year later or 18 months later. You understand what I'm saying? So those games were still recognized as being quote unquote PlayStation exclusive. So Sony never really had to carry the burnt of just pumping out IP at the as far as when it came to their exclusives. You know what I mean? They can just, I guess, depend on third party or what they're doing. Like I said, depending on multi-plats, you know what I mean? but he arguing me down, but no, well, Battle Royale until shit. Like, Sony didn't make that.
Yeah.
So Sony didn't make that. Like, but there was just you're proving what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like so even though those games were exclusive to the platform, Sony did not make them. You understand what I'm saying? That's Bloody Roar, Sony didn't make that either.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, but like I said, he argued, down. You know what I mean? I said, what Sony made? Siphon Filter, Yes.
You
had SOCOM, that I don't know what the hell they did with that.
I don't like SOCOM. No.
Yeah, the first two was cool for what they were. That third one with the move, that shit they went left. They had the it was crazy. I said he'd like to make fun of Microsoft for canceling IPs and closing the studio, but what about the Wipeout developer? They're gone.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Twisted Metal, they're gone. Like, you know what I mean? But then again, like I said today, I said, bro, stop it. And like, what the fuck you? I'm like, because you again, I could have been a jerk. And now I'm almost like record Skype calls, but I ain't with all that weird shit. But man, they just started back speaking to me the other day. Like, man, you were right. Like, I know I was right, man. It is what it is.
No, that's the thing. Me and you, we're always 3, 4, 5 years ahead of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So we can already see what they can't see. They're being subjective. They're being emotional. We're being objective. We don't put emotions into it. So that's why we can see compared to what they can see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then again, take all the fanboys. We don't get wrong. It's all for entertainment to have fun.
Yeah.
And, I'm a gamer. I'll play on anything. I like what I like.
Yeah.
And you like whatever the case may be. If it's a game is dope, I love it. You know what I mean? It is, you know, like you're more into those RPGs. You know, that's your thing. You know, I can't get with them, but again, that's your stick there.
Yeah.
It is me personally. I was just telling you behind the scenes that I think now I'm more casual than anything. You know what I mean? You may get 2 hours out of the day if you're lucky. You know, an hour. You know what I mean? You know, I just don't have time in the day anymore to go balls to the wall like I used to. You know what I mean? Sitting there, I sit for that TV till my eyes used to bleed. I can't do it. I can't. I don't. Like I said, I just don't have time in the day. You know what I mean? But if it's something that I like, don't get me wrong, I will play. But like I said, with last generation, I will buy every goddamn thing. That's why I'm so burnt out on shooters. Like I am just, I'm through. Like when the 360 era, my God. You know, I would just shoot. I will buy them all. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm just not really beat for shooters anymore. No Call of Duty. I don't even like Halo. None of that shit. I'm just done with it.
That's why I stick with the Japanese games, because I was doing the same thing. I was listening to IGN and GameStop and buying these games and buying them, and they were just, I was buying like Mod Nation Racers, and I was buying just shitty games. And I said, you know what? Let me just stick with what I know, because I don't trust these people anymore. And, you know, so now, you know, I now more than ever, now ever since I got my own style or my own thing, now more than ever, I've been enjoying a lot of these games, and I'm noticing a lot of people saying they're not enjoying gaming. That's because they really don't know. They're still listening to IGN. They're still, you know, it is what it is. But you know, me and you, we've played games long enough that we know what our brand is. We know what we like, and you know.
But there's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like, and to the people that may have. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can give. Listen. I can care what Sony sells. Then that goes in my pocket. I can keep with Microsoft, none of that goes in my pocket. Like, so it's all used to quote unquote to have fun with this quote unquote console war.
I care about sales because I want a sequel. I want a goddamn sequel to Digimon Cyphers of Sue. I want a sequel to Dragon Quest 10 or Dragon Quest Builders. I care about sales, and I'm going to be on their asses if they claim to be so PlayStation out. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Zaire.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But no. Actually, like I said, but in the day, like, you know, that you know, I'm listening. I got caught up in your speech there.
Sorry.
You know, no, it's cool. But as I was saying, it's nothing wrong with it. If you play what you like what you like. And I see you do care about sales because you want a sequel to the game, which is cool. Now you take a match your opinion on Street Fighter V, right?
Yeah.
And the game did lack in content.
Oh yeah.
And I do think that was a mistake for Sony or whoever the hell letting the game release in the state that it did. It didn't work. Content was, like, say, sparse. It should have been like a $20 title, you know what I mean? Then maybe as later on you could buy the whatever. However, this should have been a $60 game. So I think that was a big public backlash. But take a game like Street Fighter V, who didn't sell well. They said they didn't sell one copy of whatever quarter that shit was. Like, that's crazy. Not even one copy. And I do like Street Fighter V. It is like such an iconic franchise.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it would be beneficial to maybe Capcom? I don't know if Sony had. I don't know how the deal works out or whatever. Maybe they can give Sony a piece of the money or whatever to allow, you know, Street Fighter V to come to the Xbox or whatever, Windows, Xbox, however you want to split it, to ensure that we get a sequel to Street Fighter 6. You know what I mean? They did it with Mass Effect 1 on the PS3. That was an Xbox exclusive. And without how they worked it out, and then Sony was able to get, you know, eventually they get Mass Effect 1 on the PlayStation 3, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think that's something that needs to happen or should happen?
Y'all don't want, respectfully, y'all don't want Street Fighter 5. That game.
No, I mean, I have it already just to ensure that we get Street Fighter 6.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it's not a good game. I'm just saying it's just not Street Fighter. They need to get rid of that homosexual that works on the Street Fighters right now. He's been working on it since Third Street.
What's my man name? I forgot. The little chubby guy.
He's a blatant homosexual. Yeah, I mean, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But they need to get rid of him. He's been just fucking up the franchise. I mean, I grew up with Street Fighter back on Street Fighter 2, you know, Capcom versus SNK, Marvel versus Capcom 1, 2. What else? Man, it's just so many. Even the Street Fighter EX when it was like a 3D fighter, like Soul Calibur. I was fucking with all those, man. These ever since Third Strike, Street Fighter, what was the last one? 4?
Yeah.
And Street Fighter 5, they've just all been really bad Street Fighter games. I don't know. The combat is extremely slow. I'm like, yo, I thought Street Fighter's about putting in combos at blinding speeds. Why am I feel like I'm engulfed in fucking quicksand? You know, you guys really, and I'm saying this to be objective. You guys really don't want that game. Stick with the Killer Instincts. If Street Fighter 6 comes out with new developers and get rid of this fucking alleged homosexual, then you're gonna want this game. But please don't just want the Street Fighter because just of the name. These games are bad. These are the worst Street Fighter games I've ever played in my entire life, and I will not be playing 5. And I'm offended when motherfuckers try to tell me,
5?
huh?
Yeah, you didn't get 5?
Oh hell no. No. I'm trying to tell you, I grew up a Resident Evil and Street Fighter fanatic. I mean, I was walking around here in Ken garb, you know what I mean, with a red gi on, kicking and jumping, and I put fire on my knuckles one time and did a shoryuken, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to tell you, I was Street Fighter out, and a person that grew up playing Street Fighter would know that these games are complete dog shit. They're horrible. They're horrible. Yeah. Ever since they went to that 3D, no, not even a 3D, ever since Third Strike, when it was 2D, it was bad. And I'm trying to tell you guys, you really do not want this game. Even the PlayStation fanboys don't even want. Not even the PC fanboys want that shit. It is really bad, and they really.
Like I said, I like fighters. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorites. To be honest, I just like.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a fanatic. That as a fanatic, I can say that this sucks. Now, I want them to be good. I'm not saying this to be mean. I really want these Street Fighter games to be good so I can play them again. But they suck. They're bad, man.
Yeah.
And it's because of that guy. He's insane, and I don't even know why Capcom continues to work with him. They need to go back to the old guys. The old guys, they dominated, man. They knew the artistry of fighting. That's what was cool about Street Fighter, because you had motherfuckers from different places with different styles. I'm playing the Street Fighters today. Everybody fights the same. They made Vega. Vega used to be a charge character. Now he's a fucking down up character like Ryu and Ken. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I guess for in a lot of ways they have to, because let's be clear, it's not the hardcore gamer. We're the first ones to go out and buy it.
Yeah.
We're not the ones that keeps the lights on. It's the casuals. You know what I mean?
But I dig that, Zaire. Yeah. But look at the sales. Even the casuals, you might as well,
because they took away arcade mode. A lot of people don't want to play Street Fighter.
You might as well go back and get the hardcore, man, because the casuals don't even want it.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. They shouldn't have put it out without a story mode or arcade mode.
There wasn't enough. Yeah, that's been the blueprint. That's been the blueprint of Street Fighter since day one. You know what I mean? It's been the blueprint. But they rushed that shit out there before Evo, so that these wiggers and nigger nerds can play it and pretend like they're buying their fucking fight pads. I mean, just goofy shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's goofy. If you bought a fight pad to play Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, kill yourself immediately.
Oh man.
That's insane.
Man. Oh man. So
that's what I'm trying to say. You don't want it. You don't.
I just don't want to lose a iconic. You know, what the hell could we listen? We're getting out of Soul Calibur. What the hell is that?
It's an icon. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's over. The icon is over because this game motherfucker came in and destroyed it, and it's been alive for these past 8 years. So that's all mother flippers know, from these kids to these motherfuckers, the Johnny Come Latelys. You know what I mean? So all they think this is Street Fighter, but I'm trying to tell you, no, I go back before 9/11. You know what I'm saying? I go back before the days when I used to go to my friend's house and see these motherfuckers playing, and you had to wait your turn to grab the sticks or go to the arcades, put your quarter up and wait. I know what Street Fighter is. You don't. I'm not saying you, Zaire. I'm talking about these PlayStation fanboys. Yeah, that's offensive that they're asking me to buy. Zobe, you need to buy it, man. It's better than Third Strike. Anything better than everything's better than Third Strike. Fuck Third Strike. Third Strike is horrible. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. But I'm just saying, I just see that fighters. Well, you know what? Who's doing it right? I guess. Warner Brothers Studio or NetherRealm, what do you call it, as far as like the Mortal Kombat franchise and how they extended
the life they brought that bad boy back, yo.
Yeah, with the DLC, the iconic, the Jasons, the and how I like how they did it because they appealed to the casuals, the movie buffs who may have fantasized of seeing Jason fight Texas Chainsaw Leather Mask. What's my man named? Whoa, Bobby's got a girlfriend. Texas Chainsaw Mask. And then was able to bring him, Jason together with, Texas Chainsaw Man. And that's again how they breathed, I guess, fresh air into the lungs.
Remember Zaire
came out the year before, which is still selling with the XL version, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, but we go back. We remember when Mortal Kombat died. Remember that?
Yes.
It was dead, but these boys. They came back and it's right back on that. It's damn near passing Street Fighter, man. I think everybody's passing Street Fighter.
It has. I would say that
everybody's
maybe not in lifetime sales, but overall, the last few games from NetherRealm has outsold the Street Fighters. But speaking, like I said, I know you're a big comic book buff. Are you interested in getting Injustice 2?
Injustice. What's that? The 4-player?
No, Injustice. That's their DC version.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about
of Mortal Kombat. With they got a lot of characters. Gorilla Grunt. You know what I mean? I'm not a big comic book buff, but I know the little characters. You know what I mean? My uncle's a fucking comic book fanboy. He literally has about, give or take, maybe 500,000 comic books. He got 3 fucking storage containers and just fucking comic books from the walls, ground to the floor. You know what I mean? It's like you ever watch what's that show? Breaking Bad. When my man Norm had the money inside the he going in every week spraying this shit down to keep the silver fiction bugs. Like he's fanatic when it comes to those comic books. You know what I mean? So what little do I know that I got from him. But like I said, Injustice 2, like I said, they got a lot of new characters. There's something, I guess you're not really big into the fighters, but just from the story aspect, is that something that you're interested in or that you would buy?
I'm interested. I don't know if I would buy, but from what I saw from the trailer, I thought it was dope. They had Supergirl and Gorilla Grodd and Solomon, all types of wild characters. But I've never been a fan of comic book games, except for like maybe X-Men Legends back in the day. I used to play it on the Xbox. It was 4 players. And the new Batman joint. No, the first Batman Arkham. The other ones were pretty insane to me. But the Batman Arkham. But I never wanted to get a play as a comic book character, even though I'm a fanatic of the comic book.
So you're not interested in that new Spider-Man game from Insomniac Games?
The what?
Come on, Toby.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I remember I bought Spider-Man 2, the movie game.
I don't like games based on movies, but those to me are shit.
Spider-Man 2 was dope, man.
Yeah, it was Activision did it. I had it for the LG Xbox back in the day.
Yeah, I had it for the PlayStation 2. That shit. So that reminds me of that. So yeah, I will be picking up the Spider-Man. And plus, Insomniac is they did a pretty good job with Infamous 1. Is that what it was called?
I don't know. I think they did make Infamous 1.
Yeah,
I think they did make.
They did a good job with that. So I want to see what they're going to do with the Spider-Man. I think that's going to be dope. But I've never, even though that was the only Spider-Man I bought. But and then I played the Spider-Man back on the Genesis. My cousin had it, but I was never into the playing as Batman. Throwing shit. I wasn't really into all that. But I am keeping an eye on Injustice 2, though. I do think it was pretty cool. Okay. They showed Harley Quinn trailer. She was going in. I thought that was dope.
What about the God of War? The reboot. Are you a God of War fan?
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But listen, this is how you know I'm a fan, right? I just said. What did I say about Street Fighter? It's not Street Fighter anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? whatever the fuck this is some type of fucking fuckboy simulator. And I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm showing passion. Now I go to the PlayStation fanboys. This God of War is a completely different thing from what God of War is supposed to be, and they're like,
what's different to you about it? What's different to you about it? What's sparked you?
It looks like Skyrim. I was like, is this what is it, an RPG now? Like, what is this, an open world? What's this, The Witcher?
It looked like Skyrim.
I thought it was.
In all fairness, just think about it like this: you killed Zeus, and maybe Zeus would have got away and whatever, but Zeus died in 3. So they got to take him. I don't know if they're still using the black guy, the character from the voice actor from Living Single. I don't know if they're still using him as the voice for the game.
Oh, he was doing the voice?
Yeah, he was the voice. Yeah, he was the voice of Kratos.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like I said, in 3, I don't know if you played 3 or not. 3, you kill Zeus, and that's Zeus is Zeus. That's the king of all gods, or whatever the case may be. So I guess they had to take him out of the whole mythical ancient Rome thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because each culture it has their different version of their gods. You got the Sumerian, their gods with the Anunnaki. Then you got their Egyptian gods.
Egyptians. That's what I was saying. That's what God of War fans were saying. That okay, let's take it to Egypt now. Even though I thought that would have been blatant disrespect, but
you had this white man out there killing the black. Oh, shit.
I don't know. I think
that would have been a shitstorm.
I don't know if Kratos is black or white. If he's white, then I would have been
great, man. Kratos he's great, son.
Well, he's dead, right? He's like a dead Negro, right? Well, I don't know what he is, but I know whoever's drawing him is making him look European, but his voice is Negroid. But still seeing
that voice like a Neanderthal. Oh man, you're crazy.
Still seeing a nigger kill Egyptians is still offensive to me, because Egyptians are the baddest motherfuckers we've ever seen on this planet. They won't even talk about these motherfuckers. They're so goddamn bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They broke down the pyramid system. Like it's. I mean, I can go into some deep shit with the Egyptians, but that's what people were saying. You know what I mean? Now they just drastically changed the motherfucker, and I swear I thought it was just before they showed the stupid tattoos on Kratos, or he came out of the shadows. I just thought it was going to be Sony's answer to Skyrim, because they always copy Little Big Planet, Mario, My Nation Racers, fucking Mario Kart, Killzone, Halo. I just thought it was another way to copy off of somebody, because that's what they usually do. But it's like, it's fine. I mean, if you're excited for that, cool. You, Sony fanboys, whatever. But you can't say you're a die-hard fan, Sony fanboys, if that you're just willing to accept anything they give you just because this just has the name and name alone. Me personally, I get angry. I get pissed.
So I take it from you that you don't care for God. You're not going to be picking up this God of War.
No. I never cared for God of War. I mean,
not your thing,
I actually, to be honest, I would prefer this one, to be honest. But I'm not a fan of God of War. Never been.
I'm not a big Halo fan.
God of War came out, it was the end of the PlayStation 2 life cycle.
Yeah.
It was a hack and slasher. I was doing all this cool shit on screen, but I was just tapping square, and I
guess when you go down to the whole gameplay, you just hit, a bunch of cutscene stuff, which I get it, you know what I mean? I didn't play God of War 1 or 2, because it came out at the end of the place. I went over the Xbox. I was all about playing online, talking to my friends.
Yeah.
And the first God of War that I did get the chance to play was God of War 3. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then I got caught up in the storyline, like, oh, what? Who died and killed his son? What the fuck he killed his wife for? People was filling me in, and I was like, oh shit. But before then, though, I don't know if you played Dante's Inferno. You ever played that last generation?
Nah, I heard that was pretty good, though.
Oh my god, man, that shit was. Now my wife, she's a big, she's a history, has a master's and whatever.
It's based off of a book, right? Yeah,
that's her whole thing. She was telling me about it, so I got caught up in that. And it's like a hack and slasher too, like the whole God of War thing. But I beat the Dante's Inferno straight to back to the PS3 and got the God of War 3. But that's something I would love to see a sequel to, the whole Dante's Inferno. That was kind of like epic.
Yeah, I heard it.
You had this big boss battle. You had to fight the devil. He was ass naked. He was a goat, like Baltimore. He made the man up top and goat down, whatever the hell. He was cheap at the bottom. Dick swinging, ball swinging, all this. Like, show this in the game. I was like, you know what I mean? Pause, no homo. Like, literally, you fight this big black dude with this shit that slung down to his feet. That shit just swinging at the edge. Like, oh, man, this shit is epic. But anyway.
See, that shit will offend me because, you know what I'm saying? He's fighting. This white man's coming down to hell to fight with the Negroes, you know what I mean? But still, I did hear that was a good game. And that's something that I will go back and play one of these days. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have a problem. Like me, my problem, it'll look kind of outdated to me. I'm just, maybe I'm just a graphics.
No, I don't mind. I still play PlayStation 1 games.
I can't do it. I can't. Lord knows I tried. I can't do it, man.
No, I dig. Yeah.
I can't do it. I just can't go back, man. That shit makes my eyes bleed. Like, oh hell no, nah. I just can't do it. But so I'm giving you title by title that Sony showed at their E3. Okay.
You said, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'll be giving you systematically. I'll be giving you titles that Sony has showed at their E3.
Yeah.
This past E3 that they're hyping. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Persona 5. I know you're all on. That's your shit.
Yeah, man. I just beat Persona 4 a couple weeks ago.
Well, I don't get 5 is out in Japan, but it's not out here in the States, right?
No. Yeah, I was gonna pick it up, but I just said fuck it because I'll just wait.
You get it from play. You comes to play Asia, right? You can get it there in the region.
Get it, and the only thing is you won't know what the fuck is going on. But I'll just wait. I'll just wait till the English version. But Persona 5 is the real deal, man. I can't wait.
That's okay. Well, so besides Persona 5, what are you looking forward to from Sony in 2017? I know that you guys have Horizon Zero Dawn. Are you interested or not interested?
Yeah, I am. Game Informer. You still get Game Informers or no?
No, I might have to go get back. I haven't got a Game Informer. I never received one. I would pay every goddamn year my $15. Never received the magazine. I would just go right into the store and get the magazine.
Yeah, they used to do that to me too. I had to come up there and get angry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never got a goddamn magazine in the house, man. But they gave an inside depth review or look at
it was usually when I'm getting my Game Informers and I'm reading through. Nowadays it's like I'm reading it and I'm more confused than I was when I knew what I actually thought the game was. I remember back in the day I used to get these Game Pros and magazines and read through it and get so excited, like, oh, they got these features, oh, we're gonna be able to do this. And when I was reading Horizon Zero Fucks, I was actually getting pretty excited. I was like, you know what, this might be a pretty dope game. And I can't, you know, I'll give anything a try, especially if it's an RPG. I'll definitely be there day one. So I am excited for it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So in 2017, you got Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
You got Persona 5.
Yes.
What else we have from Sony on this side of things?
I don't. Oh man. The comment section might have to help me out. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just saying because they showed, you know, the God of Wars and all that stuff. They showed it at E3.
I don't think
that's not going to come out until at least 2018.
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be another holiday season when the shit is just sparse? Like, you know what I mean? That and like I said, you know, you also got. And like I said, I haven't gotten your opinion on the PlayStation VR. Is this something that you're interested in?
No. That's what about you? What about you?
No, because you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, when you bought the Kinect, the Kinect was $150. That shit is $500, $400 or $500. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can say what you want about the Kinect. At least they had their, you know, must have what, you know, whether it's Just Dance or Kinect Sports or whatever the hell. I don't know, not one, you know, must have game for this PlayStation VR. You know what I mean? And also, too, I'm hearing, you know, that it's not, you know, working correctly, and the camera's having trouble syncing up with the helmet. Yeah, and I actually kind of feel bad because Sony, like, I heard they invested like $600 million in this goddamn thing.
Wow.
So and for that, like I said, I hope it is, you know, that it, you know, I don't want to see it. Regardless of people think I don't hate Sony. I don't want a world with just Microsoft in the gaming, you know what I mean, or just fucking like that's why I'm so fucking pissed off at Nintendo. I want to get your opinions on that. I miss the days, and I get criticized so much. Well, who buys Nintendo for third party? Like, I remember when fucking Nintendo had all the third parties. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, some of Nintendo's greatest games wasn't made by Nintendo. Rain King, Double Dragon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons. And I can go on and on and on. Street Fighter 2, I can go on and on and on. Some of their best games were not made by Nintendo.
Yes.
So I miss the days, and again, of the big three out there, you know, battling it out. To me, that's and you may feel different or whatever the case may be. But I how should I say this? When a company doesn't compete, and even Iwata said himself that Nintendo doesn't do well at competing. It doesn't do well at competing. When a company doesn't compete, you know, or with their competitors, or or whatever the case may be, or not out there lobbying for $5, then like you get the same shit like what we see with Nintendo. To me, they remind me of someone's grandmother that was so lively, and now they're in a nursing home with fucking Alzheimer's. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is right here. This is not the Nintendo that I've grown up with. Like, I don't know what the hell that is. But people arguing me down like it's Nintendo that got me. And what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. But even when, like I said, the NX or is that something that what little that we do know is something that you're into? Like you do the handheld thing. I'm not mistaken, right? The 3DSs and you like those. They get the RPGs on there also, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely. I haven't bought a Nintendo console since the Super Nintendo, and I didn't even buy that. My father bought that bullshit.
Oh, you didn't get the GameCube either?
No. I thought the GameCube was for homos. No, I mean, you ever notice that people that grew up on the GameCube look weird? Like they got like something weird about them. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I got, of course, in that era.
They got like one big eye, one little eye. You know, something's fucked up about them. You know what I mean?
Oh man, it's so crazy. But they did have a few gems on the GameCube, like Eternal Darkness.
There's only one game I want on the GameCube, and that is Skies of Arcadia. But that was on the Dreamcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like to me, that was their last core, somewhat, hardcore. I don't know what the hell. Compared to the Wii and the Wii U, that was probably their last hardcore system. You know what I mean? But capable super far with specs and stuff. Nintendo just got in their policies where, that's, and again, a lot of people don't notice. Another same guy, same YouTuber, pretty big, tried to argue me down that the PS1 was more powerful than the Nintendo 64. I said it wasn't. It's just the fact that Sony went with DVD. You get the whole DVD-ROM thing with cuts in loading, and Nintendo decided to stay with cartridges, and cartridges, of course, was more expensive than actual disc. It wasn't true. That. Actually, like I said, it wasn't. Actually, like I said, the 64 was more powerful than the PS1. But he argued me down about that shit. They also, but like I said, I just missed the days of Nintendo competing. As far as I don't want to gimmick. I'm not saying here's the thing. If you're gonna do, this is my whole thing. Maybe you may feel different. In a nutshell, if you want to do that little weird shit, that flute shit over in the corner, which is cool, do your Nintendo thing. You're still gonna appeal to a certain type of gamer. Certain type of motherfucker how they doing the Wii dance with twin beds in their background. I'm cool. That's what gives you your identity. But also you have to offer the other things that your competitors do. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a much bigger market outside of the weirdos here in the corner that want to game, talk to their friends and do this and X, Y. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying you cannot offer what you're offering, but you also have to offer something else, because you can't just own a Nintendo console, give up what generation the way it is now, and be fine. When I was younger, if you had a Nintendo, that's all you needed. You had a Super Nintendo, and if you didn't have a Genesis, that was all you needed. And it's not even to this generation now. I don't give a fuck if you go whether you go PlayStation or Xbox. You can have either one of those consoles and be fine. You may get something other that you might want to play you don't have, but if you don't get it, it is what it is. You can't just have a Wii U or a Wii and before you'll be fucked up the whole generation, and that and stuff is a problem. You know what I mean? If people when I say that, well, we don't want them to be like, Microsoft and Sony. They don't. They can still do what they do, but you also have to have the other shit, the other meat. The meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Like what is your opinion on that? You know what I mean? As far as Nintendo and the way that they are now. You may feel totally different than I feel. Like, fuck me. How do you feel about it?
No, I agree with you 100%. Everything you're saying is 100% objective. But when Nintendo, I don't really have a problem with them, because Sony steals everything from these motherfuckers, man. So whatever Nintendo comes out is going to be on the next fucking PlayStation. That's why I seen an article the other day. Nintendo was hiding. They got to hide their shit because they hiding the shit from fucking Sony. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then Sony fanboys will come out and be like, fuck that bullshit, man. Fuck the fucking Wiimote. And then even Sony will come out and say, fuck the Wiimote. And then they'll come out with the Move Mote. And all of a sudden, actually, no, this one is more 1-to-1. It's like, what?
More accurate.
Yeah. So,
yeah, Sony has.
Even Nintendo did the virtual reality headset. Even Nintendo had the fucking CD, but they tossed that to the side, and then Sony left and made their own fucking thing.
I'm happy that they did though. I mean, I get credit.
But to be honest, I haven't, like I said, but with the point you're making, I haven't bought a Nintendo.
Okay, what will get you to go out and buy one?
If this NX, and this will be the one I actually will go out and buy, if I'm able to take my Game Boy, or what you call this, 3DS cartridges, or even if it isn't 3DS, they'll have whatever the next handheld is. I'm able to take that, put it into my game, and I could play it on the big screen. Something that little would be mad, like for me to play my Pokemon games, like Pokemon Omega Ruby. If I'm able to play that on the big screen with some Wi-Fi, man, forget about it. My cock will be full. No homo. But my cock will be fully erect for 13 days. I would have to call the hospital after 9 hours. You know what I mean? I would be cute. If that's what the rumors are saying. Now, if they go past that, then I won't be angry because I'm not really a Nintendo guy. I'll just be like, fuck it, I won't be getting the internet.
I think there's more problem not that you're gonna their consoles gonna upgrade that you can take on the go and bring it back home. For those that are into the 3DS, which I guess is a smart business decision by them, so they're taking and they're combining the two, the home console and the handheld department, putting it all into.
Man, if I could take Sun and Moon on the go at work, you know what I mean, and then bring it back to the crib and do some Wi-Fi battles and then live stream it on Twitch or YouTube.
I don't think they're going to do that. They're not going to allow that. I don't think.
Oh, I forgot they are pretty strict with their.
Yeah, I mean that's what somebody. And you know what? That's another thing why Nintendo doesn't have, in my opinion, a big market share anymore, because right now YouTube is the biggest gaming thing in the world. Media, and they don't really have a presence on the internet. Some people playing their games and all this stuff like that.
But to check this out, Splatoon is already in the double digit. There are 10 million copies sold. That's Splatoon. Imagine if Splatoon was on the PlayStation, 3,000 copies. You'd be like, but the motherfuckers go out there and buy the games. Now it's because you're probably saying there's no third party. But that's impressive, man. That's impressive in 2016 to see Nintendo selling very well when it comes to their games. Majority of them. Yeah.
Well, so again, so like I said, this thing shows how what it was.
But listen. If you want to shit on Nintendo, go right ahead. Don't hold back.
No, bro. This is the only thing.
Nintendo fanboys.
That's not my thing. I don't have to.
You know what I'm saying? If you would have called Nintendo's fanboys a bunch of faggots, listen, I'm right behind you, man. Fuck them faggots. You know what I mean?
I just think that it is what it is. Like I said, when I came to this community, I was bugging with a bunch of grown ass men playing the Wii. They should be the fuck. Like, what? Me?
I mess with the 3DS heavy because they got a lot of JRPGs. They got all the JRPGs that Sony used to have, man. They got Dragon Quest, and 3DS is probably my favorite after, you know what I mean, PS4.
So so take, like I said before, we get the hell up out of here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to what you said before. Put a pin in what you're about to say. The virtual reality headset. Yes. Am I interested? Man, you said no. I say no. It's like you said. It's a gimmick. Come on, Xbox and the what's the thing called? Kinect and the Nintendo with the Wiimote. If those are gimmicks, those are pure gimmicks. I can't. I'm a gamer. I have to sit down and play Killzone on my ass. And now the virtual reality headset. Man, you know what? This is really extravagant. It's courageous. It's a master stroke. It's one of the greatest. Fuck these Sony fanboys and fuck the virtual reality headset. I hope it dies the same way the goddamn Nintendo headset died 30 years ago.
Yeah, they tried the whole VR thing back then. I think when it all boils down to, I don't care if it's the Vive, the Oculus Rift. People just don't want shit on their face for a long period of time.
It's insane. It's insane. If anybody's wearing that shit in front of me, I'm gonna push them and slap them. Slap them and stand there. It's all right.
As hell.
Like, who did that? Who did that? Like me.
I know gamers already we get looked at as being nerds and all that shit. Like,
that's going too far, Zaya. That's going too far. Yeah. You're sitting down, you got your fucking headset on, come on, stop. Kill yourself immediately.
Yeah. Like I said, I guess I know Sony has invested heavily into this VR.
Yeah.
The same, like I said the day, it's like I said, about 600 million. They could have took that money and The Last of Us 2 or whatever. But it is what it is. You can't go back and change. You got what you got now.
What you just said, we only got 2 games coming, and that's out of the Sony camp, right?
Yeah, that I know of. Unless
no, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some JRPGs coming out that I'm going to love and adore, but that's third party. But like you said, you just said Sony has paid what 600 million or something.
Yeah, so I heard.
Yeah, for this virtual reality headset, that means that we will not be having any games. I mean, what Sony showed us at E3 is just God of War, and what else was it? There was some other games that I thought was shit.
The God of War,
and there was some type of zombie game where there was like
no days gone or whatever.
Is that bullshit? But yeah,
that's you think, but yeah, I don't know, zombie. I guess that's the crave you got. What's the TV show? The Walking Dead. I guess.
No, but they did the zombie thing years ago. Sony's late. They're always stealing shit late. We was playing that dope ass zombie game on fucking the Xbox with Left 4 Dead. Remember that?
Yeah, Left 4 Dead was the shit.
That was my shit.
That was the shit.
Like we've been playing these zombies. They're so goddamn late. And they might buy that shit, but yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like I said, well, okay. I guess maybe we can go. What's your favorite Sony developer they have as far as their first title, or your favorite franchise from Sony?
It's gonna have to go back to Siphon Filter and Twisted Metal.
Oh wow, man.
I mean, I'm talking about on the PlayStation 1 days. I haven't really.
PlayStation period, you know what I mean, or
something.
I mean,
I like you said. If we're going to talk about third parties, then exclusives, then there's a gang of them. But something coming directly from Sony, I haven't liked something directly from them since Siphon Filter and Twisted Metal. Yeah, I didn't like God of War. I didn't like Killzone. I didn't like Mag. I didn't like. None of that shit, man. Little Big Planet. What's that Nintendo ripoff? PlayStation Battle. I didn't like none of that, man.
Yeah.
But I did like. I will say this: Xbox always had the better, and will always have the better first party exclusives, man. I enjoyed Gears of War 1. I enjoyed Halo 1. What else did you guys had? Left 4 Dead. I don't know if that was really first party, but you guys had a bunch of stuff, man. That was just extra good. Y'all got Lost Odyssey, and the Xbox fanboys didn't give ZOBE70 a shout out now.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? But again, those Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon.
Oh man, those are dope, man. Don't tell me
and all that stuff. Well, you know what's crazy? Microsoft went out on not on a limb, but they were to try to get the Japanese audience. That's what they heavily invested in. What's my man named Skillwaker or whatever the guy that developed that stuff for Microsoft. Even though those games sold over 1 million, they wasn't. It wasn't, I guess, a big commercial success for them. They did that to attract the Japanese audience, in which they still didn't go out and buy that goddamn console. So I don't think we're gonna probably ever see that from Microsoft.
They've been hating on the Xbox. I remember back on the original Xbox, man. They was hating Japan. They was hating on that.
Yeah. The controller was too big, and I just don't. I think this, at the end of the day, they're more brand loyal probably than anything. Yeah. But let's be honest here. Japan is not the force that it once was when it comes to games.
No. Zayam, the PlayStation sales have come to a complete PlayStation 4 consoles have come to a complete halt. They're not even buying PlayStation 4s out there. They probably bought the Persona shit.
Yeah.
But they're not buying PlayStation shit either. So I don't know why Sony fanboys are getting hyped. They ain't buying the shit.
Yeah. Like they said, they're just that's why you were saying about the Final Fantasy, and they have to make it appeal to a more Western audience.
Yeah, and that's the biggest downfall, man.
Yeah, that's the reason why. It's because it's not going to appeal to the mass market. You see a bunch of Japanese motherfuckers that they was fuck is this? You know what I mean? See, even look at Nintendo's biggest selling fucking franchise of all, Mario. You didn't see a Japanese Mario out there. You saw an Italian dude with some tights and overalls. To get a more Western appeal, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And that's why, you know what I mean? Because just to be clear, there's, especially when it comes to North America, is the biggest consumer of everything. You know what I mean? If it's a hit in America, normally, usually it's a hit everywhere else. So, but that's why they you know, even like I said before, as this going back to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Whatever, but you know, we're both in our 30s. That the games will come out in Japan first, and then they will come stateside if we were lucky. You know what I mean? I remember I had to, before I bought me a Japanese PlayStation 1, I did the trick where you put hold the door open, you put the tape over the button to run Japanese games. People don't know about that. And, my spot, Dr. Kim's downtown North was sold. That's how I got those Street Fighters and all that shit. Super. I don't know what the fuck they were. They was all in Japanese. I just thought they were Street Fighters that wasn't out over here, but that was the only way that I was, you was able to play them. I don't even know they did come out here eventually. Japan had a bunch of shit that never came out over here. But you had to put the tape over the button and to get the disc to run. But not so much anymore because everything comes out over here. You know what I mean? Like, well, even look at the Japanese developers. Like, Konami is not once what they were. Capcom, damn sure, is not once what they were. And Konami
blew all their money on that hack, that slob, and I hope he takes all of Sony money too. Kojima, fuck that motherfucker. That motherfucker stole all of Konami's money, man. Just took it all, and then he tried to get a contract like, yo, I want some more money. Konami said, suck my dick, and then Sony tried to get these motherfuckers, and Sony's the biggest idiots. I can't believe they would get this fucking hack to create a game. You know, you're gonna lose all your money, Sony. Fuck you. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I feel bad for Konami because they had some great games. What was it? Silent Hills,
Castlevania.
Castlevania was a monster back in the day.
Yeah, Castlevania.
And Kojima worked on that fucking Castlevania, the God of War version. Fuck Kojima. Fuck that motherfucker. A franchise that I would love to come back, Suikoden. I don't know if you know that.
I remember, but even like I said, what's the other game that Konami makes? Ender Zone they used to have back in the day.
Zone of Enders, that's
Zone Ender, whatever the hell.
That's a Kojima joint. That shit was garbage too.
Yeah, but like I said, shit. You look at the Konami now; they're a former shell. They got this. I don't know what the fuck. This is the Left 4 Dead version of fucking or whatever you want to call it. Metal Gear.
I'm gonna buy that shit. I'm buying the day one. Fuck these Metal Gear. I'm gonna be the first in line to get that motherfucker. I might be the only one in line, but I'm buying that motherfucker. Fuck Kojima and fuck these IGN, GameStop, dick riding. We mad at these motherfuckers don't even know why they mad at Kojima. Fuck these motherfuckers.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. But like I said, with Cap, like I said, these companies here, I guess maybe you can even just say just Square Enix, maybe they're still holding on to what they want.
No, I mean, Square Enix is still their Final Fantasy franchise is no longer what it used to be. And
why you think is that though?
Because the creator of Kingdom Hearts is working on their fucking games. And that motherfucker's another hack, just like Kojima. They kicked that. The reason it took so long because this motherfucker wanted to put zippers and fucking talking hats and belt buckles and cock rings on everybody. And they're like, get the fuck out of here. That's why the shit took so goddamn long. They said, you know what, get the fuck out of here and work on Kingdom Hearts. And that game's gonna take forever to come out because this motherfucker's a fucking idiot. Yeah. And they got rid of all the dude that made 7. They got rid of him. He's he can't even make a damn game. He made Lost Odyssey for you guys, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Mm-hmm. And they got this bum working. The Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of the worst fucking games I've ever played in my life. And people just think it's these wiggers and niggers.
I never played any Kingdom Hearts.
Oh man, lucky you. I can't believe people think that Kingdom Hearts is dope. Why is it dope? It's like Lost. What's that game that came out? The spaceship game. Motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck they're hype about.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, but what they really hyped up about is that they bought the shit when they were kids because it's got Disney characters in it. Yeah. But they don't want to admit the shit.
Yeah,
I bought it because it was badass. That game is that dude. The guy that's working on the Street Fighters, the guy that's working on Square Enix. These motherfuckers have ruined it. Final Fantasy is ruined. Now, I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's cool. Like I said, so you're not a fan of Final? I mean, the what you call it, Kingdom Hearts. That's not your thing.
No. I fed into the hype a long time ago, and then I got it home, and I'm like, oh, I'm not because I like Disney and I like Final Fantasy. Mix them both together. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope. I'm playing, and then I'm like, okay, all right, another hour, another 2-3 hours, and then I finally get to the Disney World, and then it's just like, this is trash. And then part 2 came out. They fixed the combat. It was a little bit more fun, but the combat alone, like I said, that shit bores me. I don't give a fuck if I'm flying around, spinning, twirling, doing all this other bullshit. If all I'm doing is pressing square, I have to consume all the buttons to enjoy this goddamn game. I don't want to feel like a badass. I want to feel like a badass because I'm doing it, not because I'm pressing square and then there's and then these Kingdom Hearts, I'd be like, yo, what's dope about it? Because the story sucks. What's the story? Well, listen, I don't play Kingdom Hearts for the story. What? You're playing a game that's over 80 to 90 to 100 hours, and you're not playing it for the story? I can rant for hours about this bullshit, fucked up gaming community that just ruining all of my goddamn games. But we'll do it for another.
What's
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No. I said, well, it's okay. So they say, but this is cool. It's cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can ask you this then before we get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to? That's to come out, or that you look forward to playing. That whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter, or whatever.
Persona 5, man. Persona 5.
That's your must-have title for 2017.
Persona 5. I've been waiting for that game for a long time. I'm really excited. It's keeping the core mechanics of turn-based. It's we're going to be living in this pseudo Japan. It's when you're in these worlds. When I was playing Persona 4 Golden, it just felt like I was actually living in this world, and it's something that I haven't felt in a very long time. I felt like I was connected with the world. I felt like I was connected with these characters. It was great to see the characters grow. I mean, there's a bunch of weeaboo and there's a bunch of shit in there that's just fucked up. There's heavy dialogue, but it just seems like Shin Megami Tensei and Atlas and the Persona series, they just got it right. It's just perfect. I can't wait for Persona 5. And I can die a happy man if I can play Persona. Hopefully it's right. I mean, there's still the core people working on it. It's still the same director. So I know everything's going to be copacetic. You know what I mean? So Persona 5, there's other games I'm looking for. Scalebound, I want to keep my close eye on that. Sea of Thieves, I'm keeping a close eye on that. You don't like Sea of Thieves?
That's not much shit. No, that's not much shit. No.
Oh,
I don't like Rare. I don't like the art style.
I dig you. I've been a pirate fanatic ever since I was a kid. Not a booty pirate, but I just been a pirate fanatic. And I just, I just want to get down on some pirate shit. But what other games? Just really anticipated for. I want to see what the hell's going to Crackdown, man.
I think it's going to probably be a launch with the Scorpio.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
They'll probably launch that with the Scorpio, I guess. Actually, what? At the end of the day, the first, I want to see what's up with the game. To be honest with you, the first one was cool. Second one was more of the same thing. I just, I'm not really. This period, I'm not a big fan of the whole open world. Do this and that. Like, there's too much going on for me. I just leave me.
What I saw that I thought was dope about Crackdown 3 was the layers. Like you're in a building. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can
everything destructible. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, like
a gas pipe around the corner and take the whole building down.
To me, that is taking it to the next level. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could be like, oh, I can't get this motherfucker. All right, hold on. He takes the truck, swings it up in the air, crashes into the building, knock 3 or 4 buildings on top of this motherfucker. Or even if it's multiplayer, you're in there fighting on one floor. All of a sudden, the building collapses on you while you trying to get your kill streak. To me, I don't really like shooters, but I think that's going to be fun. That type of playground is going to be really fun. Except for just having this open world and there's stores, grass. I don't like Grand Theft Auto just because of that. But yeah, I think this is going to be dope.
I think so. Well, like I said, today we shall see. I don't have any more or less high expectations. As far as me, was next year, I want the Horizon Zero Dawn from Sony. Yeah, fuck that Persona. I can't get with that Gundam style. That's real shit, yeah. I don't know what the fuck the game's about. Crackdown. I'm not really interested. Oh, but I want Cuphead. I am interested in Cuphead.
Oh yeah, that's the old school
yeah,
Steamboat Willie type joint.
Yeah. I want that. The Horizon Zero Dawn. Halo Wars 2. I'm not into that fucking RTS shit. They can keep that.
Oh yeah, that should be cool. That should be cool.
I don't get that. I fuck them RTSs. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
I am interested. They are. Well, Phil announced that they will be doing a remake of Voodoo Vince. If they do that with some next generation graphics, cool. See what they can do with that. Also, Phantom Dust, which I thought was dope on the OG Xbox. We're supposed to get that next year also.
Man, I wish you guys kept the rights to Viva Pinata.
I never played the Viva Pinata game. I never played any of them.
That game is.
I wasn't. Didn't Rare make that game? They don't have the rights to that shit anymore.
Yeah, they lost. I guess Phil Spencer just let it go because it wasn't really selling too well. But it was.
They put it on. They had put it on on Nintendo's platform, didn't they?
Yeah, they put it on the DS, and it's just as dope, man.
Yeah, I never played any of those games. I mean, I think what it is for games like that, Microsoft feels they don't have the audience for it. You know what I mean? Even they do have the kiddie games. You know what I mean? Whether the Skylanders and all that stuff.
But Microsoft did something that was like, kind of old school. They had a cartoon for it that came on Saturday mornings and shit. But it just yeah, they had a Viva Pinata like a little 3D cartoon that came on Saturday mornings back in the day, man.
Oh,
so they put a lot of money into it.
I kind of fell in the cartoons with the whole. I like He-Man and Thundercats. Those was my type of cartoon. Snarf.
But they did something dope, but it just didn't get a chance to take off. But Viva Pinata is a well-polished game. You can play it now on your Xbox if you ever get a chance, man. I'll let you borrow it.
Backwards compatible.
Yeah. You can play that.
You know what it is? Maybe I need to step outside my bubble. It's the art style. When I see those colorful cartoon type graphics. Maybe that's why I'm not a big Nintendo fan anymore, because I don't like that art style. That's why I'm not a big fan of Rare. I don't like Rare's art style. I like more Witcher type graphics, or that's just my thing, my stick. Maybe that's the whole fake macho bravado nigga from the hood type shit. I don't know. I can't, bad enough I'm a game. All jokers play is Madden, 2K, Call of Duty. Anything outside that shit is outside the norm. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
I've always been weird growing up. So because we used to play, live and in 2K, in Madden back in the day.
Yeah.
Or I remember like Bulls versus Blazers.
That was it was that 90 shit. 94.
And it was like Jordan versus Bird. Like we was really bad.
That was Jordan versus Bird. That was for the NES back in the day. That was like 90.
Yeah,
like that. Jordan versus Bird.
And Tecmo Bowl. But like I wasn't really. I used to play with my action figures and watch them play from a distance. But they was just having so much fun.
Double dribble.
Yeah, they used to have like a blast, and I always wanted to be a part of that. So when I got older with the PS2, I would play Madden, and I actually did like it. But like I said, when these next gen joints, they just don't feel right. They don't feel like the games we used to love play back in the day. So that's why I don't mess with them anymore.
Maybe sometimes you just have outgrown them. You know what I mean? That can be. You know what I mean?
You know what's an RPG, but I don't think you guys will admit it. Madden.
Yeah.
Madden is a turn-based RPG or football. It's a turn-based. You guys won't admit this, but I'm looking at the game. You got the offense has its turn because you guys be like, I don't like playing turn-based because I'm just standing there. You know what I mean? I'm letting these characters hit me. But you got the offense side that's doing the scoring, and then you have a defensive side. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you have plays that's just like RPGs. Like you have to do certain attacks that'll work on certain enemies. Yeah, you guys are playing JRPGs, but you don't even know it, Joe.
You got to run certain defense, the pivot, and all that stuff.
Yeah, the same for JRPGs, and and you guys be like, I don't like that. I'm not saying you personally, but I talk to a lot of people like y'all, and I'm be like, yo, y'all actually playing an RPG, man. When it comes to that football, But yeah, no doubt.
I'm not even a big Madden dude anymore. I stopped,
Yeah, no. I used to like it back on the PS2.
Yeah, I just can't get it back. It's ever since they're the only one making football. They don't have an incentive to make a better football game.
Oh yeah, the 2K joint.
Yeah, so that's why I just can't get down with the support and rock out with that. If I do play Madden, I get that bitch free with my EA access. That's not my thing anymore.
Yeah.
At all. But like I said, Zobe, it's been our first show, show under our belt.
Yes, sir.
It was long as like I said, hopefully next Saturday at 3:00. Let's be on nigga time, 3:30 or so.
We're gonna try to bring in some like a guest or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's up to you. I don't know. I'm just
we got. I got, like I said, with this, for those guys that are listen to us live now, with this show here, I'm gonna reserve maybe interviews for those people that are into that type of stuff. Tech reviews. I get sent stuff all the time from different companies that sometimes I just don't reply back to. Like I got like 5, and I know I need to put my email address. I say, I guess for quote unquote for business. Because I don't never check my damn YouTube. I said messenger box. I'm always free for late. I got about 4 damn requests from some company to review some, a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna try to save that stuff here for this show. Like reviews, interviews from different people within the community, different YouTubers, you know what I mean? Something different than when I'm on BGST or Xbox Beats Fire multiplayer podcast. Just something different, you know what I mean? But like I said, going forward, this is what the show here is going to be about. Just having fun. You got both sides of the equation here. Xbox do, PlayStation do, both just love gaming. At the end of the day, and down for entertaining. But anyway, thank you guys.
What's that show?
What?
It was the one gangster guy. What's that old show? It's the Odd Couple.
Yeah, the Odd Couple. Yeah, we are the Odd Couple. Wait, one gangster, one nerd.
The podcast right there, the Odd Couple podcast. But it's all good.
Yeah, gangster and nerd podcast. But anyway, it is what it is. Thank you guys for rocking out with us, man. We'll catch you guys next week. And also, if you're not subscribed to ZOBE70, I'll leave the link. Everything else.
Everybody's shot is out here. Fuck my channel.
It is what it is. But thank you for rocking out with us, man. We're going, man. Bang, bang.